Hey y'all, happy day, Sunday for me. Hello, welcome to the show. I have a TikTok video to watch. That's about it. Chris, I believe, is still sick. He may not be here. So this may be another short stream today. Let's watch this TikTok video. To me, it shows two things. It shows perfectly the product of wokeness and the woke ideology, and it shows perfectly how to handle it and deal with it. This is a woke lady getting stopped by a cop who's very skilled in handling her bullshit. Oh, let me pull it up. It's one of the best videos I've seen all week. All right, here we go. Oh, hang on. I got to change my settings as usual. I got to do something about that.
What's going on?
Nothing.
Why are you driving in the wrong way of traffic?
No, I just got changed around. I just moved here like 2 months ago.
Okay.
I just got changed around.
Okay. Do you understand what's going on though?
Yes.
You're going into oncoming traffic.
I know, and I just decided that it was better just to turn around really quick.
Okay.
But I'm sorry. I just have like really bad social anxiety and stuff.
I get you.
I don't want to step out whenever you're asking for stuff.
Okay. Well, we're past that. Just go ahead and step out.
As an Indigenous person.
Right back here, please. Miss Perry?
Well, I'm non-binary, so.
Okay. What do you go by?
It's Kai.
How can I refer to you tonight? Kai? Okay. Hey, I'm smelling alcohol.
I know.
How much have you consumed tonight?
Like probably 3 drinks.
I need to run you through some tests right now. Stand facing me, please.
But I just want you to know that I also have very bad social anxiety.
You and me both. Okay. Any recent head trauma, traumatic brain injuries, anything I need to know about?
Mental, yes.
Focus on my finger, please.
I am. You're just like trying to intimidate me.
I don't know how I'm trying to do that. This is the test.
As you know, as an Indigenous person, and there's a bunch of going around, I'm sorry, but it's just for me to be on my toes.
I get you.
Can you remember that I told you that I'm non-binary?
Yeah, I'll try my hardest. I'll refer to you as Kai, right?
Yes.
Perfect. I need to know if you have any injuries or anything that would prevent you from doing a standard walk or turn tonight.
Mental health.
Any physical injuries?
Mental, yeah. But no, I'm just saying.
Okay.
Mental, PTSD, depression, anxiety.
I get you.
What else do you want?
Now, with your right foot, place it in front of your left in a heel-to-toe touching manner with your arms by your side, just like this, ma'am.
Can you not call me ma'am, please?
I'm trying my hardest.
Okay, well.
Okay.
It means a lot to me.
I'm trying my
I
hardest.
don't feel like a man, so.
Okay.
It's kind of triggering.
Right foot in front of your left. Nope, go back.
I'm sorry, but the whole man thing, just like.
I apologize. Let's see if we can move forward from it. You have 0 questions?
No, but I just want to tell you that I suffer from really bad anxiety, especially with generational trauma and PTSD around white people and cops. Like, it's just.
I'm going to speak with you right over here, okay?
No.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead and place your hands behind your back.
Don't, dude.
Don't make it hard.
Please.
Don't make it hard.
No,
Don't. You're gonna get a resist.
Dude,
You're gonna get a
I
resistance.
don't.
Don't resist.
Don't.
Listen to me. Don't resist.
Don't. You're being
Come
a
here.
white man and
Come here.
don't. I followed all of your shit. Like, as an indigenous person, like, you guys. You guys are scaring me.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
Yes, there is. It's called.
God. Oh my God. I want that guy as chief of police. I think he should get a medal, promotion. That was a master class in handling. She tried every little woke tool she had in her tool chest to get out. Mental health 2 or 3 times. Indigenous. I mean, I want to say how is she not white? But I go through the same thing. I'm not culturally white either, but I know that if I get stopped by the cops, they're going to see me as a white person. So me sitting there saying I have trauma around white people and this and that, it just looks kind of ridiculous on the surface. And she lied. She's a big fat liar because he asked her, he said, I smell alcohol. She's like, no. And he said, how much do you have to drink? She said, maybe 3 drinks. Well, then no is not the right response to I smell alcohol. So someone with that level of neurosis, fragility, sensitivity, anxiety. She wasn't too anxious to stop her from going to a party and drinking 3 drinks. So I just call bullshit on all of it. And it kind of reminds me of some of the circles that I run in up here in Seattle, the mental health circles, which social justice is now creeped into. So you kind of get that combination of I'm oppressed, mental illness, white people, social anxiety, all the other stuff. So I just wanted to share that. I really don't. Oh, let me turn my banner on. Certainly guests can come on. We might have a show today if I get some actual guests. Because this really is supposed to be a panel. And with just me, I'm not a panel. So if it's just going to be me, there's no reason to keep it going for hours and hours. It's really only if there's a panel that it's worth it. So this is not all about me, believe it or not. In fact, I want it to be as very little about me as possible. I was rewatching the Laurie Anderson Norton lectures, and one of them, she says that she's talking about her point of view as an artist, and she's like, I don't try to have a point of view as an artist. I just try to kind of show things as they are, and I don't really care if you know me, who I am, or understand me, or understand my point of view, because that's not what I'm trying to do. She said, in fact, she spent almost her whole life trying really hard to not be anybody at all. And I very much relate to that. I feel the same way. I'm not trying to be anybody on here. And there was another line from the video from John Cage that I really liked. In fact, I'm ready to adopt it as the motto of this entire live stream project. He says he says in the video, his quote, I have nothing to say, and I'm saying it. And that's exactly what I'm doing here too. I think I told you next week I'm going to be traveling. I'm going home for the holidays, home for Purim, home for Thanksgiving, back to Louisiana, back to my roots. And I left there in 2009. I was in New Orleans, but the last time I went to the actual place I'm from was 2008. So it's been like over 15 years since I've been back to that part of the country. And I don't know what to expect. It's like going back to all of my memories, and it very much was a part of who I am and helped make me who I am, but I'm also not that person anymore, or not completely that person anymore. it's like going back to a museum of my own personal memories, but they're not going to be the same. I'm not going to be the same. It's going to be that uncanny, like, feeling of suspended in this limbo of memory and identity. That kind of happened a little bit. I left Seattle a couple of years ago and moved to another town, and I went back to Seattle about a year later for a week or so, and it was strange. And this was after COVID. So I left Seattle during COVID. And everything was closed. And I went back, and Seattle had reopened and more or less gotten back to normal. And it was kind of the Seattle I remember before COVID, but kind of also not the Seattle I remember. It felt strange that I had ever lived there at all. I didn't identify with any of it, but I didn't feel like a tourist either. It was this just weird no man's land of being a part of it, but being alienated and estranged from it at the same time. So what I plan to do is document my return as best I can. It's going to be a combination of chaotic and busy. So I don't know how much time on any given day I'm going to have to be on the internet. And probably a lot of downtime as well. I'm going to be staying with my mom. It's going to be just the two of us. And historically, that's never been the ideal situation. It's always been challenging. I have plenty of tools that I've picked up that I can use now that I didn't have back then. She came up here last year for the holidays and stayed a week or so, and her and my uncle. And they got a bed in a B&B. What's it called? B&B? Airbnb. And so I stayed with them there, but I could come back to my place when I needed to. Like, I had my own place. I could come and recharge and take breaks and get away from them when I needed. And I'm not going to have that there. It's going to be, and it's on her territory. The B&B was a neutral ground. So it might be a little different, but I still have all of my mental health tools that I've tried to learn and put into practice whenever I can. And our relationship has changed too. I didn't speak to her for probably over 10 years. We just started talking just during COVID, like just when COVID started, and repaired our relationship. And I'm really glad I did. It felt so good to let go of all that anger and hatred and hurt and all of that pain. Some of it real, most of it imaginary, that I had towards her. So we're good now. We had a really good visit over Christmas. So point of all this is I'm going to like live stream whenever I can as kind of a mental health tool, and to give me some space from whatever might be going on. I may have a wonderful time. Like, I'm not expecting the worst. I'm just preparing for, turbulence here and there as if and when it arises. I haven't talked to my siblings in forever. We Zoomed a little bit during Easter of 2020, and then we Zoomed very briefly during Christmas last year. So I've seen them here and there, like, hi, how you doing? That kind of stuff. But we all grew up together and haven't really spent any time with them since. And I don't know what to expect. I kind of had a slightly different relationship with each one of them. And so it's the holidays. I tell myself that we're grown up and we've all matured, and I think we have, and that everything's going to be fine. But you never know what can set off family drama. And none of it was major drama. It's just the typical family drama you might see around the holidays. And So really, I guess all of this is to say, I really have no idea what I'm heading into, both internally and externally. And I'm going to try to be on stream as much as I can each day. But my plan is to kind of document my experience, because this is something very not new to me, but new to me for a while. And I think it would be cool to, well, a friend of mine told me, he said, your live stream is like you're writing a book. This is your book. And so this is an experience that seems important to go into the book. So that's going to happen next week. I'm flying out on Thursday. Thursday's going to be a travel day, so I don't think I'm going to be able to be online at all. So maybe next Friday I'll pick it up again and we'll go from there. But I do plan to be around Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Anton and I believe, are still doing our social justice series on Monday. Chris and I will probably do an evening stream on Wednesday. I really hope he's feeling better. And he talked about maybe going to the ER. So I hope he didn't have to, but then I hope if he did, they were able to get him on the mend. And so the next few days should carry on as normal. And then after that, I'll be in a totally new environment, possibly a new state of mind. I'm also going from a very, very blue state to a very, very red state. The state legislature there is like 2/3 Republican. They just elected that new Republican governor. They have some LGBTQ bills going through. And I've been thinking about those bills lately. I mostly agree with them because they're more like anti-indoctrination bills, which I don't agree that school kids should be indoctrinated in any kind of ideology. And anti-compelled speech, like forcing people to use certain pronouns, and then like experimental plastic surgery on youth. So for the most part, I support them. But I was also thinking of how important it is to have environments that validate you, not in a corny, like pop psych kind of way, but just you want to be in an environment where you feel part of it and it feels worth investing in, and you don't feel like the people there hate you and don't want you around. And I can see where some of this could slightly be invalidating if you were not so much gay and lesbian, although one of the bills prohibits discussion of sexual orientation, including like your personal life, like your personal orientation. That's one thing I struggled with when I was teaching. This was in mid-2000s. And I was openly gay. And I didn't care if the kids knew, but I had a lesbian teacher friend of mine that advised me not to be open about it with the kids. And this was middle school. Her argument was that middle school is a confusing time. They were going through puberty, and I didn't need to add any extra confusion to that. I thought I could have been a positive role model, but I kind of bought her reasoning at the time. Going back, I would do it differently. And so I didn't purposely talk about my relationship or talk about my orientation. Like a lot of the kids knew, and they tried to bring it up now and then, and I kind of redirected the conversation. But I think I would have felt more true to myself if I had just openly given them an example of a functioning gay adult professional. And I think that this bill is going to kind of make that harder to do. So, and I'm going to a very Republican part of the state. Most, if not all of my family are probably Republicans. All of their friends, the people I'm going to be around. So I'm really going hang out with in a red state with a bunch of Republicans. A lot of them were Trump supporters. And it doesn't bother me. I don't have a problem with it. But it's going to be a very different environment than the liberal kind of woke crowd I've been hanging out with up here. And so I'm going to try to report and give updates on how that's going whenever I can. I think it'll help me, and it's a chance to document and archive it for anyone else that might be in a similar situation. You could at least get a window into one person's experience with it. So I think that's all I have coming up. Let me check YouTube. Maybe somebody's streaming. Andrew's invading TikTok. It seems to be his new shtick lately. Machine stream last night, although it was a rather short stream. I woke up at like 2 a.m. and they were still on. He ended it shortly after that. But it was a cool stream. They did some relationship advice, or like we do here, that I thought they did a really good job with. All right, let me check one more thing. No, I don't really see much going on. Let me check the news right quick. Where is the news? Oh. Israel stuff. Oh, people are marching against anti-Semitism now. That's good. There's 100,000 march in France against anti-Semitism. I guess the Grammys are coming up. No, I don't see much that I have anything to say about. Okay, well, if I'm not going to have any guests, I think I'm going to take the opportunity to take the day off today. And I don't think we're going to stream tonight either. So next time I see you will be tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central, our normal streaming time. So you all have a wonderful rest of the weekend. Have a good Monday, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. As usual, take care. Thank you.